time, space, reality. They are not as fixed as you believe. Across the infinite branches of existence, there are moments. Tiny, fragile moments. Where a single choice bends the future of an entire world. In canon we have seen that Kushina was the Jinchuriki of the Nine Tails, and Minato and Kushina died when Minato sealed the Nine Tails inside his son, and this has all happened because Kushina was weak because of her pregnancy. But what if Kushina was not the Jinchuriki of the Nine Tails in the first place? What if Minato Namikaze was the Jinchuriki of the Nine Tails? In this alternate reality, Minato Namikaze was the one to be chosen to become the Jinchuriki of the Nine Tails. A boy with no parents alive used to live in the village in war time period. The former Jinchuriki of the Nine Tails, Mito Uzumaki, was so old that she wasn't able to suppress the Nine Tails fully because of her chakra was getting weaker by the time because of the age. So she decided to look for an Uzumaki so that Uzumaki can become the Jinchuriki of the Nine Tails. And since they hadn't so much options therein, Mito was sick when Kushina was coming towards the hidden leaf. She decided that she will seal the Nine Tails within someone right now, because if she will not be able to control Nine Tails, it will destroy the whole leaf village. So Minato was the prime choice, a true genius who was the strongest in his generation with a good chakra control and the good amount of chakra, even though that chakra amount was not fully enough to control the Nine Tails in compared to Kushina. But still they had no other choice, so Minato has been chosen to become the next Jinchuriki of the Nine Tails. Naruto became the Jinchuriki of the Nine Tails. And he started his daily routine life again. But now he started being low on chakra most of the time during his training because he was spending most of the chakra suppressing the Nine Tails. But he was working on his perfect chakra control and focusing on increasing his chakra. Since Mito died because of her sickness after sealing the Nine Tails inside Minato, but she gave Minato the access to the Uzumaki library because she knew that Minato will face this problem because Minato didn't have the Uzumaki-like life force in the chakra. Minato started learning the sealing jutsu. And Kushina too reached the Leaf Village after few days. In the Genin exam, Minato and Kushina passed together at the age of 12, and it has been 2 years since the Nine Tails has been sealed inside Minato, and he was habitual of it. Minato perfected his chakra control and increased his stamina and the chakra too. And since last 1 year Minato was working on a seal-in through which he can increase his amount of chakra by absorbing chakra from the Nine Tails. He was still working because he was not able to figure that out yet. And right now Kushina was the one with the biggest amount of chakra in her generation, and she was learning to manifest and control the Uzumaki chakra chains. They have been assigned to a team together, and there were an Uchiha in their team, and his name was Taka Uchiha, and Jiraiya was his sensei. They were in the time period when the war could start anytime. One day when Minato was training, some hidden cloud shinobi came to the Leaf Village to capture the Nine Tails, or you say capture Minato. They were 3 Jonin there to capture Minato, and Kushina and Take were training too with Minato. They all together fought against those Jonins. Kushina was the first one to go down because Taka had the Sharingan, which was not fully mature, but he had Sharingan. Kushina was alive, but she'd been injured and was not able to move. Minato was giving tough competition to the Jonin of the hidden cloud, and the same thing was going on. Another hand, Taka too was fighting good. Minato, after watching Kushina injured, was getting angry and unstable. Because of the anger, the Nine Tails chakra started releasing a bit. But then those 2 Jonins killed Taka in front of Minato because Taka was strong and was causing problem for them. So they killed Taka Uchiha, but they had no idea what they were doing. After watching Taka Uchiha dying in front of his eyes, Minato got so angry, and for the first time Nine Tails chakra started leaking so much, and Minato came in one tail state. And now those all 3 cloud Jonins were fighting against him. And on the other hand, Jiraiya and Tsunade felt that chakra, and they rushed towards Minato. And they got to know that Minato was in 2 tails state, and his chakra and anger was increasing. Minato killed all those 3 cloud Jonins, and before he can head towards the village Tsunade and Orochimaru came in front of him so that they can stop him. They were stopping him and Jiraiya was going under the sage mode because he was the one who had to go close to Minato to apply the seal on his body so that the Nine Tails chakra can be in control and go back inside Minato. After undergoing the sage mode, Jiraiya came there. Until that time, Minato, while fighting with Orochimaru and Tsunade, went into Three Tails state. And with the help of both of them, Jiraiya applied the seal on his body and Minato been unconscious because of so much pressure. And now in the Leaf Village, the village elders were talking about to seal the Nine Tails inside Kushina instead of Minato, because Minato was not able to control the Nine Tails and his life force and chakra was weak compared to Uzumaki's. But Jiraiya came in way and didn't let them do it, because he knew that Minato will die in that process, and they didn't have the idea that Kushina will be able to suppress the Nine Tails, because sealing the Nine Tails in another host could be risky. But Jiraiya decided to take Minato away from there. And while leaving, he left Kushina with Tsunade to train so that she can become strong too. Jiraiya took Minato away from the village, since Minato has got good control and the skills, so Jiraiya started his sage jutsu training. And Minato was learning the sage mode under Fugasaku and Jiraiya too. Naruto trained there for 3 years, and in those 3 years Minato got the hold on the perfect passive sage mode. And in that much time Minato gained so much speed and his reflexes was so good. And he created a seal through which he can absorb a little amount of chakra gradually and get into his chakra system. And because that in sage mode his chakra problem finished. And because of his passive sage mode he has become stronger and faster. And at the age of 15 Minato came back to the village when the Leaf Village was facing the problems with other villages, and in that era, Tsunade and Jiraiya created 2 strong shinobis. Kushina without Kurama has a bigger chakra reserves, and then she learned the medical ninjutsu from Tsunade and become the medical ninja with the Byakuga seal, and she was now as strong as Tsunade, and with her chakra chains she even surpassed Tsunade. On the other hand, Minato surpassed Jiraiya with the passive sage mode. And after coming back to the village, Minato started helping the village in the S-rank missions, and started representing the village with his unmatched intellect. And with the permission and the help of Tsunade, Minato started working on the flying Raijin jutsu. In next 3 years Minato was protecting the village with from problems on the battlefield, but the war was not face to face that time. And in those 3 years Minato created his own flying Raijin jutsu. And now the hidden stone and the hidden cloud was together in front of the hidden leaf. And the war was face to face means hidden cloud and hidden stone was against hidden leaf together. And Minato was standing in front of those armies with his village on his summoning toad Gamabunta. And meanwhile Jiraiya was on another giant summoning toad. Now I guess it is the perfect timing to test the flying Raijin jutsu, Minato was thinking before the war begins. And in front of them there were 4 Jinchurikis of the tailed beasts, and one of them was perfect Jinchuriki of the 8 tails. The war started and Minato started attacking on them with the help of the Gamabunta. Minato directly went towards the battlefield. He went in front of the Jinchurikis because he knew that the Jinchurikis will create the problem for the army of the Hidden Leaf Village. So he first attacked on those Jinchurikis to handle them, so that they cannot create the problem for them. And now Minato was in front of the 4 tails Jinchuriki Roshi from the Hidden Stone Village. Roshi was strong, he knew the lave release. Before Minato, Roshi was so powerful, but in front of him when Minato came with higher speed and the higher reflexes and the strong form in the sage mode, Roshi was now not so strong in front of Minato. The first thing Minato focused on that he tried to mark him. But Roshi never was his first target. His first target was the Killer Bee, the younger son of the 3rd Raikage of the Hidden Cloud Village. Minato wanted to stop him first because he has seen Killer Bee fighting before too, but they never came in front of each other in a fight. Minato has seen the tailed beast bomb from the 8 tails. And Minato has seen that, and he worked on a jutsu to create a similar jutsu like the tailed beast bomb. And he created the Rasengan after watching the tailed beast bomb, and he was trying to make friends with the Nine Tails. But Nine Tails were not that easy to be friends with. But after watching Minato, a pure heated and good person, Nine Tails stopped messing with his chakra. And Minato had an idea that Nine Tails have stopped messing with his chakra. Otherwise, when the Nine Tails used to mess with his chakra, Minato was not used to be good in his chakra control, so he used to think to create another seal in which Nine Tails would not be able to mess with his chakra, and neither he will need to spend so much chakra on just suppressing the Nine Tails. But he was good now. Nine Tails was not messing with his chakra. While fighting with Roshi, the Jinchuriki of the Four Tails, Minato easily managed to mark him, and while Minato was in the fight with the Roshi in Taijutsu, Minato managed to mark him fast. And then he teleported a little away from there, and then he charged a Sage Art Rasengan in his hand, and was ready to attack. This was the first time when Minato used the flying Raijin, and this would be the first time when Minato will be using the Rasengan in the real battle. Roshi was confused where Minato had left, but then, all of a sudden, Minato appeared there and hits him with a Sage Art Rasengan. With that one attack, Roshi was on the ground, injured badly, and after that Minato applied the chakra suppression seal on his body and then teleported to a secret place from where he cannot come out, and that means now Roshi's chakra was closed and he was in the prison which he will not be able to escape. And then Minato decided to go in front of the Killer Bee, the perfect Jinchuriki of the Eight Tails. But when he was going towards Killer Bee, the elder son of Third Hokage came in front of Minato, because he got to know that Minato captured the Four Tails Jinchuriki. It's you, but I don't think you were my target. I have done my homework, but you are not my target, so don't waste my time. I need to stop someone who is even stronger than you are, Minato said to the elder son of the Third Hokage. Don't you even dare to underestimate me, said to Minato, and he activated his lighting chakra cloak and attacked on Minato. I have taken so many responsibilities of my shoulders and I cannot fail now, Minato said to a. When a reached so close to Minato, Minato vanished from there. What the hell has happened? Where the hell he has gone, was thinking, but then Minato appeared behind him on the kunai which he left before and hits a with a Rasengan. I told you that you are not that strong, and besides, the speed could never be able to match the space time ninjutsu, Minato said to, and then again hits him with another Sage Art Rasengan. And when Minato was going to seal his chakra, Killer Bee reached there and attacked on Minato with Eight Tails tentacle. Here you are the perfect Jinchuriki of the Eight Tails. You have got something special, Minato said to Killer Bee. Yes. He is special, he is my brother. As I told you before too that he is stronger than you. You two are strong, but he is stronger than you are. He is not just stronger, he has something else which you would never have, Minato said to and he teleported behind to hit him with another Rasengan. But Killer Bee predicted his move and he used the Eight Tails tentacle to protect his brother. But that Sage Art Rasengan destroyed the Eight Tails tentacle, and with that Rasengan Minato even marked Killer Bee too. You are a good person and the world need people like you, Minato said to Killer Bee. And Minato created a clone and teleported him with a Sage Art Rasengan. Minato's clone hits Killer Bee with Rasengan, but Killer Bee hits him with a sword, but the clone vanished because it wasn't the real one. It was just a clone. And when the clone vanished, Minato appeared there. Even Killer Bee was injured now. I have told you that I cannot afford to fail now, because I have taken so many responsibilities on my shoulders, Minato said to Killer Bee. After that, Killer Bee entered full tailed beast mode, and he started charging up the tailed beast bomb. Minato calculated so easily what he had to do of that tailed beast bomb. When Eight Tails attacked on the Minato with that tailed beast bomb, Minato touched the tailed beast bomb and then teleported the tailed beast bomb away from there. And when Minato sent the tailed beast bomb is about to explode, he teleported that back to Killer Bee and it exploded, and it even took Minato with him, but that was just a clone. With his own tailed beast bomb, the first Eight Tails been injured and he needed to get healed first. And now Minato and Killer Bee were in front of each other and Killer Bee started attacking on Minato with his 7-sword style in which he was a master. Minato was not able to go close to him. You know it why I praise you this much, Minato said to Killer Bee, and he vanished from there. And he teleported a clone to hit Killer Bee with a Rasengan. Killer Bee attacked on that clone because he predicated and sensed Minato so fast. But Minato sent only a clone to attack on Killer, which got vanished after getting a hit, but Minato landed a perfect Sage Art Rasengan on Killer Bee's back. It was a clone again, Killer Bee was thinking, when Minato again appeared there with another Rasengan and hits Killer Bee. The shinobis there were shocked and confused, because Minato was dominating Killer Bee no one has ever done before. And on top of that, Minato was appearing and disappearing so fast. After hitting Killer Bee with another Rasengan, Minato sealed the Biju chakra of Killer Bee, and then he sealed suppressed Killer Bee's chakra and then teleported him in a barrier. And now you, Minato said, and hits a with another Rasengan and sealed his chakra. And then Minato headed towards another Jinchurikis. And Minato got to know that Kushina already suppressed the 2 tails Jinchuriki who was in Biju chakra cloak. Minato came there to teleport that 2 tails Jinchuriki while Kushina headed towards another Jinchuriki. And after teleporting the 2 tails Jinchuriki, Minato too headed towards the 5 tails Jinchuriki. But by the time Minato reached there, Kushina already suppressed him with the chakra chains. Minato reached there when Kushina was draining his chakra. Minato suppressed his chakra and then teleported him too from there. All the Jinchurikis are done, Kushina, and now we need to handle Tsuchikage and Raikage. Hokage already fighting with Tsuchikage, so go and help him. And since that Raikage is speed monster, I will handle him, Minato said to Kushina and left from there. Kushina too left from there towards Third Hokage to help him, while 3 legendary Sannin were handling the army together with 3-way deadlock summoning. And they were watching over the Raikage and trying to stop him from. And then Minato reached there, the 3rd Raikage reached there, and he was fighting against Sannins, but because of his speed and the strength he was still fighting. Otherwise he would have lost in front of those Sannin. And those Sannins were fighting against other shinobis too while fighting with 3rd Raikage. And then Minato reached there and he threw a kunai towards 3rd Raikage. In the moment Raikage dodged that kunai, Minato attacked on him with a Sage Art Rasengan. But 3rd Raikage was so strong that he got injured, and he stood up against. But till now Minato has already marked 3rd Raikage. How had he done it? Orochimaru and Tsunade were thinking in their minds. Before 3rd Raikage again can attack on them in his injured form, Minato again hits him with another Rasengan. And now Minato was hitting him before he can get healed, and in the end Minato sealed his chakra and then he teleported the 3rd Raikage away from there. All 4 Jinchurikis are done, Jiraiya sensei, and now only 3rd Tsuchikage is left as a leader from their force, and I am going to capture him. Just tell them that they have lost the war, tell everybody for me, Minato said, and teleported away from there. He left only a yellow flash behind him. Jiraiya said, how did he do it? Is he really fast that we were not be able to see him? Tsunade said, no, Tsunade, he has teleported, he knows the teleportation now. Remember, you gave him the access of Uzumaki sealing jutsu, and with that you gave him the access of your library, Jiraiya said to Tsunade. So he already has mastered the teleportation. I already thought that this is the matter, else how could someone be this strong that don't even leave the after image? Tsunade said to Jiraiya. He really has become so strong, Tsunade said to Jiraiya. On the other hand, when Minato teleported in beside Kushina, he saw that Kushina already captured Tsuchikage with the help of Hiruzen. And then Minato teleported Onoki away from there, because Kushina already suppressed his chakra and applied a chakra suppression seal on his body. And this news spread in the forces of Hidden Sand and Hidden Cloud, and they decided to retreat from there because there was no one to lead them or to make decision. And then they all went back to their village and Minato too went back to the Leaf Village. And all the Jinchurikis and the leaders of the Hidden Cloud and Sand were captured by Minato. And after few days when Hidden Stone and Hidden Cloud sent an apology to the Hidden Leaf Village, Jiraiya and Minato were there. So what do you think, Jiraiya and Minato, we should do? Hiruzen asked. We will not give their leaders and Jinchurikis back until they are not compensating us. Every person has been killed should get the compensation in the settlement for the loss. Minato said. Yes, you are right, but do you think they will agree on it? Hiruzen asked. They would have to, because we have their leaders. Minato said. What if they try to do it again? Hiruzen asked. Then there would be another war, but in that war, we will kill all the leaders and the elders who make the decisions for these village. And for that we sign a treaty if anyone would break off the rules that would be punishable, Minato said to Hiruzen. Indeed. You are right, Minato, but if they still break off the treaty? Hiruzen asked. In that case we will have to get ready for another war, but if we will leave them like that, then they will come after us definitely, because they would want the revenge from us, Minato said. You are right, Minato, Hiruzen said. And then Minato left from there. He really is a one-of-a-kind genius, Jiraiya. He already thinks like a Hokage, Hiruzen said. Yes. That's what he was planning to be, and this is the reason he always thinks like a Hokage, Jiraiya said. Don't you think that I should pass up the title? Hiruzen asked. Even though he is young, but he would be a good choice, Jiraiya said to Hiruzen. And after getting the compensation, Hiruzen gave the title of Hokage to Minato. And Minato had become the Hokage of the Hidden Leaf Village at the age of 18 only. And Minato was running the village and everything was good. And at the age of 19 he married to Kushina, and when he was 21 Kushina was pregnant, and the masked man decided to take advantage of that. And he decided to make Kushina hostage to get the hands on Minato and the 9 tails inside him. But till that time Minato already befriended the 9 tails inside him. When masked man captured Kushina and took her and her newborn son as the hostages, and then started negotiating with Minato. If you will lay a single scratch on their body, then it would be the last day of you on the earth, Minato said to masked man. But the masked man came towards Minato with his son to lay a hand on Minato and to teleport him. But when masked man gets close to Minato, Minato touched his son and teleported away from there. What the hell was that? When did he upgraded his flying Raijin jutsu? But before leaving from there, Minato already marked that place. And after teleporting his newborn son, Minato teleported back, and then he headed towards Kushina, and then he was releasing Kushina from the ropes. Masked man attacked on Minato, but then Minato entered the Kurama Chakra mode and his chakra arms countered that attack. And Minato again teleported away from there. And this time he took Kushina with him. And now masked man was alone, and he was thinking about to leave from there because his plan already failed. And after teleporting Kushina away from there, Minato teleported back and saw that the masked man already teleporting away from there. But still Minato attacked on the masked man with a kunai, which hurts the masked man a little, and masked man teleported away from there safely with just a little wound because of the kunai Minato hits him. And now Minato had a good life with Kushina and his newborn son Naruto Namikaze. And they started training their son since the age of 5, and their son was training with Kakashi Minato and Kushina since the age of 5. It was all good till the age of 7, when Naruto, Minato's son, was 7 years old. Danzo started making moves and started trying to manipulate things so that he can get the Uchihas killed so that he can get more power for himself. But after 6 months, when Danzo tried to kill Shisui Uchiha and took his one eye, Minato got the news and reached there on the time. So what the hell do you think you are doing, Danzo? Minato said to Danzo after watching him, and then Minato looked at Shisui and he touched Shisui with his chakra arm and teleported him towards Kushina so that she can heal him. I guess this was your last day on this planet, Minato said to Danzo. As I could see that Shisui lost his one eye, so you are going to hand that over to me right now, or else I will tear you up in so many pieces without killing And that's when you will get to know how it seems to live without the senses, Minato said to Danzo. Danzo was scared of Minato because he knows that how strong and fast Minato was. And now it is the time I will put you to the end. Minato said to Danzo. I am not going to die this soon, Danzo said to Minato. Yes, I know that, and I know how I have to kill you. Without even losing the right eye from Shisui, Uchiha Minato said to Danzo, and then he attacked on Danzo with so many chakra arms he made from the chakra of the 9 tails. And eventually, in just few attacks of his hand, Minato marked him and then teleported onto him and hits him with the Rasengan. How did he manage to mark me? Danzo was thinking in his mind. I just needed to touch you once even with my chakra arms, Minato said to Danzo. And now Danzo was on the ground, and then Minato took the Sharingan from him. And then Minato killed him before he can even stand up again. I cannot lose to him this fast, Danzo was thinking before dying. After that, Minato teleported his body and himself to the hospital where Kushina was healing Shisui. And then Minato gave Kushina the eye he got from Danzo. Kushina implanted that eye back to Shisui's eye. After few hours, when Shisui woke up, he found Minato and Fugaku standing in front of him. So tell me, Shisui, what happened there? Minato asked Shisui. Danzo knew that I can stop the internal conflict, which Danzo has created in many years without any blood shedding, with my Koto Amatsukami, which is the strongest genjutsu which can overwrite users' will. What is that internal conflict I don't know about? Minato asked. So Minato, you don't know about what was happening there? I thought the whole village and the main clans were involved into this, Fugaku said to Minato. What are you talking about, Fugaku? I got to know that only Danzo, which those village elders were only involved in this matter because he wanted to get the Sharingan for himself, and this is the reason he was trying to manipulate things in favor of the conflict. He wanted the conflict to happen so that he can get the hands of the Sharingan, and since I knew about this, so he wanted to kill me, Shisui said to Minato. So this was the whole. I thought you were involved into that, and I was planning to take control over the village, Fugaku said to Minato. What you were thinking about to take control over the village, is that true, Fugaku? If there was any problem, why didn't you tell me so sooner? You should have told me about this. I am so disappointed in you by this, Fugaku. You shouldn't have done this, Minato said to Fugaku. I am sorry about that, Minato, but I thought you as an enemy, and telling enemy that I know what he is trying to do means telling him that I am ready for anything, Fugaku said. Yes, you are right, Fugaku. I am sorry about it. You had to feel that way, Minato said. It's alright, since everything is resolved, then we need to talk to those village elders, Minato said. Yes. We need to talk to them and deal with them, Fugaku said. Yes, right, they are all yours and you can decide what you want to do with them, Minato said to Fugaku and Shisui to get their trust again. You don't need to do it, Lord Fourth. I already know that you were not involved into this. Who else knew about it? Minato asked. Till now we are only 3 people are alive to know about this, Shisui said to Minato. After that, Fugaku ordered Itachi and Shisui to kill those village elders, and once again the Uchihas were loyal to the Leaf Village. On the other hand, Naruto Namikaze, Minato's son, started going to the academy, and since he was training under strong shinobis since last 3 years, he has got a perfect chakra control because of training under Kushina and Minato. He was good intellectually too, and he used to learn things fast. Even Minato used to think that how Naruto had this much amount of chakra. Even Kushina hadn't this much amount of chakra when she was 12, even after being the full Uzumaki. And Naruto having more chakra than her made no sense to him, but he was happy for his kid. He trained under Kakashi, Minato and Kushina over time, and he has learned so many things. And at the age of 12, Naruto learned so many things that he already was a Jonin level shinobi, rivaling one of the strongest Jonin of the Leaf, Kakashi Hatake. On the other hand, Sasuke was training under Itachi and Shisui, becoming strong too. These 2 geniuses were progressing so fast under the geniuses, and the village was getting stronger day by day. Under Minato Namikaze, even any other village even tried to attack on the Leaf Village or even tried to get the hand on Sharingan or the Byakugan from the Leaf Village. Because they knew that Minato will be enough to nearly destroy the villages alone, and with them, there were Shisui the Teleporter and Itachi too. And other strong Uchihas too, just like Fugaku, and with Itachi and Shisui, Sasuke Uchiha, a 12 years old brother of Itachi, was getting stronger because he was born with strong chakra than others. And on the other hand, Minato's son, who was as strong as an elite Jonin of the Hidden Leaf Village. Even Kakashi admits now that Naruto has become stronger than him. Naruto already learned the technique called Rasengan and even the Rasenshuriken. Since he was not the Jinchuriki, so no need to fear of losing control and no chakra spending on suppressing the tailed beast inside him. His chakra already exceeded Kakashi by far, and it was reaching at Kushina level at the age of just 12. Naruto became the Genin at the age of 12 and he got appointed to a team. He was in team with Shikamaru, Nara and Ino Yamanaka, with Itachi being the Jonin leader of the team. Itachi took the bell test of that team. And since Naruto was a good friend with Shikamaru, since before he had good bonding with him, Shikamaru was helping Naruto and Naruto was showing good skills in fighting with Itachi. But Itachi was stronger than him. But Naruto gave him a good competition until Itachi didn't use the Genjutsu over Naruto. And then Itachi used the Genjutsu over Naruto and Naruto broke the Genjutsu too, and then Itachi understood that Naruto wasn't a normal Genin level Shinobi, he was already on an elite Jonin level with elite Jonin level skills. And in the end Itachi passed them in the bell test and started training Naruto even more hard. Under Itachi, Naruto was getting even smarter and faster. In just 2 months Itachi made Naruto even calm, smart and tactful. And with Naruto, even Shikamaru had to do the hard work. Even Itachi used to be confused sometimes because Naruto used to train for hours without getting tired. And he had an ability of regenerating. He used to regenerate fast because he got the genes from Kushina, and her cells were already trained to regenerate with any attack fast. And Naruto got the ability from her. Naruto started learning the chakra chains from her in medical ninjutsu. And Minato was teaching Naruto now the Rasenshuriken. And he decided that he will train Naruto for the Sage Jutsu after few years. This was for the video. We'll meet you in the next video. Comment down your favorite part and don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more awesome content. You are watching Sage What Ifs. Stay tuned.